welcome. Let's see what we got for next week. And actually, but anyways, can stay on. So we are on daily, and as usually, we start with the USD CAD. The USD CAD turned into red. There was beautiful divergence from the previous weeks, but what I would expect is kind of like the same thing what happened here. And as you remember, a long time ago, I said this could be an XABCD pattern, which worked out very well. As you know, the XABCD or another patterns called harmonic pattern. It's kind of like this. But yeah, what we see right now is that we have one green sign and two red signs, and we are above the zero line, and the zero line on the VVV is just crossed. But to see the weekly picture, I would expect like something like this, kind of like sideways, and after that, an up move. Actually, because as you see, the bigger time frame, we are above the zero line. We bounced from the REMA. There is a small green spot on the destroyer, but we are still waiting for it. Okay. This is on weekly. As I said, I would expect something like this and then a further move to the upside. Okay. This could be also a good thing to move that sideways, because there's a lot of things to catch on smaller time frames if you see this. But we're gonna need a break first of all, and that was a beautiful bounce from the 50 and the previous high as well. Okay. And I showed you before the VV volume. On one day I use 3 days or even a week could be good. Okay, for longer terms. What the price is about to showing us in volume. Okay. And then we got the Audi NZD. The Audi NZD made a divergence from last week, and still in the sideways move. And this, which was marked also weeks ago, we need to break out from this before we can say that the price wants to move to the down or to the upside. So first things first, let's break the levels, and after that we can catch up. Okay, there is something turning. See, weekly, 2 weeks, and like heading back. Okay, that was nice. What I see is a self signal and also a cross from the REMA, which indicates that, let's see, the bottom of this channel. And if we can break, then we could see a longer movement to this downside. Okay. We reached also the previous point. That was a good thing. Okay. Then the Euro CHF. The Euro CHF, oh, I removed the target zone, which was the 38, actually. Let's see here. From last week, we got the signal to the interest rate decisions displayed out correctly. And as you see on weekly, this was a signal, the structural divergence inside, and then we got a nice push. And in my opinion, it doesn't stop here. First target zone is the 61, first of all. And if that happens, we can look forward. Okay. This is on 3 days, for example. And you could see this is also a good example of the structural divergence and based on the volume on 3 days. Okay. This could be a good confirmation as well. We broke the 0 line, so let's see what the price does here. The Euro GBP, same thing. Oh, but I deleted also the target zone from here. Well, the first target zone was at the top of the previous structure. It was a divergence, so we considered this as the target zone, which was reached, and went further actually, and that's why I marked up the weekly 38 as target zone. Let's see what the price does here, but we are still under the 0 line, but the volume is rising, so I would expect a weaker GBP as well for next week. Okay. I don't want to change it on the VVV volume, so I'm gonna disable. Yes, so that's what I want to see from the Euro GBP. Then we got the DXY, and the DXY made his move, and we started as bearish, but by end of the week there was a huge pullback, and here is also an XABCD pattern. What I showed you guys worked it out very well, and right now we are reaching a key zone. What I mean by key zone is there is a possible turning point from the market, and because of the gap from the slower and faster moving average together, there is a huge gap. So even if the price, let's say it comes back, similar thing what we could see here, the price goes back, goes up, but didn't reach the REMA line, and then makes another move to the downside, and then it crosses back, but you see the divergence between the two. Okay, so it crosses down, and after that we had a divergence, structural divergence inside, and lead us to this beautiful move in the market. Okay, this is our weekly picture. The weekly is everything is green right now, but as you see, the last time when we reached this level of the volume on the destroyer, we got a turning point, an aggressively turning point like here. Okay, and after that divergence, here was also a smaller point when we reached this high of the destroyer, and as you see, there was also correction to the downside. 4 weeks. Not a big correction, but this is definitely a correction, and divergence made it right there. And already marked here, what I would like to see is kind of like this divergence to the upside. Okay, so I would definitely wait for a correction. Right now, I don't think that the DXY gonna continue his move to the upside, but like I said, everything is in green, so it can in small steps still go on actually, but I would like to see a retest and after that a continuation. So in the long-term run, I'm pretty sure that the price wants to go up. If you see this, the momentum is above the 0 line, we got a buy signal, the REMA crossed, and it's almost end of the month. So the new month, if it's starting, maybe some sideways, but end of the run, it should go up at least to the previous high on a monthly basis. And on daily, we have a red momentum, structural divergence forming, and there was also a divergence on the destroyer. So that's also a point where I should look into a potential small reversal move in the market. Okay. And also, if you see the euro strength. The euro, if it strengthens, then it leads to an DXY weakness. So that's what I want to see. Then we got the CXY. The CXY marked here. I would like to see target soar to this point. I draw it here. The divergence, from the divergence we went up, and if it continues to the upside, I would say let's see this move, maybe one candle to the downside, but I would like to see something like a turning point to the upside. Okay, but the 50 is still holding, and as we see on weekly basis, and that's why the bigger picture, we got a buy signal, the REMA is about to cross, it's not crossed yet, and the VVV plus with the small volume is right there. This week should be filled at least. Okay. Yes. Then we have the AXY, and the AXY reached our target zone from the previous weeks, kind of like it was close. Oh, yeah. Didn't change this, but it looks like it was not that accurate. Anyways, like this, you can see that, okay. Anyways, almost reached our target zone, and the same pattern here. It should make kind of like a retest on the trend line, and after the retest on the trend line, a huge move to the downside. That's what I would like to see. So it will play out perfectly actually if the price goes back to the 38, which should mean, and we are heading back to the trend line as well. There is also structural divergence forming, and we got the green zone right there. So that will be the best scenario. Okay. In long-term run, I still expecting the market to come to this point, and even on lower points, as you see on monthly, we are just turning from the VVV plus, we got the sell signal, everything is in under, and we should make a low, actually. Can say an all-time low as well. Okay. Then we have the EXY. The EXY didn't change much. What I drawed here is the previous point, which is also an all-time low, but here is also some structural divergence, and the volume is pretty low. So I would like to see something like a bounce like it did here, and make a divergence to go to the downside. So this will be the best scenario if the price goes like this. Okay. Those are the expectations on the XY. Should mean that the price comes back to 61 actually. Interesting. You see something like it happened here, a huge pullback from nowhere, and then continue to the downside. Huge pullback from nowhere, continue to the downside. Oh, huge pullback, but here we see divergences, as we see here, some divergences. The vol structure, like here as well, is making divergences, and that's always something to look at it. Okay. Then we have the BXY. The BXY made a beautiful break and retest from the previous zooms, and the price went down, and here is still the target zone on the weekly is the 61, what I would like to see to hit. And also good news, there is no divergence formed, so there is right now convergence right there. Okay. Then we have the SXY. The SXY is making a divergence actually on weekly, but didn't reach yet the target zone, which was also the 61. I would like to see first the touch of the 61, and as you see here, a potential divergence forming, and we are still above the zero line, which should make another move to the upside, also kind of like a retest or something, and then a move to the downside. Okay, but the structure is clearly broken, and this could mean that this is kind of like a head and shoulders, which is forming right there. So as you know, this will be a very good scenario, actually. Okay. Let's see what the price does. Then we got the AXY, nothing to see on the AXY. Still, the target zone is the 38, but we have a divergence forming under the zero line, so I don't think that our target zone will be reached. Okay, it should already made this move. Then we have the ZXY, almost the same thing, but there is no divergence. We can see the difference in the volume, but there is no clear divergence. So yeah, the volume is moving up. There was a small structural divergence right there. And made an up move, but yeah, this area is still holding. Okay, maybe a small correction should be there. And we have the XAU. What I was looking for is to reach the previous high actually, but we saw a push from the XAU and it didn't close right there. We just got a pullback to the downside, which indicates there is no bull power in the gold. And I thought there will be a divergence around there, which is not made it. So I'm gonna remove everything and focus on what we can see. Okay, there is a low volume on daily. We got the sell signal and the REMA is close, but it's kind of like bouncing from there. So what I would expect is kind of like a sideways move as well in this range. What we can see here, it's not very clear ranging, but you see that from the 61, that was a beautiful rejection. And on weekly, you see the sideways move, the volume gets lower. What I would like to see is actually the price to stay under this point. And if the price stays under this point and the volume moves up a bit, then we can say that there is divergence forming right there. And then we can see a huge down move as well. Okay, there is also a big gap between the two. That's why I'm saying I'm looking to the downside because of the monthly candle, and the monthly is just forming in the big term. There was a divergence right there, and now the divergence is forming right there as well. Okay, and here was just convergence, but we got a sell signal. It didn't move anywhere, but as you see, the volume is also about to cross down, and if it happens, this could go on a very, very low spot. The first target will be here, and as you see, the first target is about 2,400 pips, which is just crazy. And here will be the second target, which is 480 pips. That's just crazy. 4,800 pips, sorry. Yeah, that's just crazy. Okay. As news from the economic calendar, we're gonna start with the EFO from the euro, which could lead to some volatility in the market. After that, nothing big to happen. Tuesday, same thing. I don't see any relevant news. Then Wednesday, also maybe the manufacturing of the Austria could make some, and the GFK. But otherwise, nothing much to see. And then Thursday, a lot of high impact news from the euro. This could bring some liquidity in the market, and we're gonna continue with jobless claims from the USD. And in the evening, the Powell speech, which should make a huge move in the market. Then we heading into Friday, and Friday retail sales, inflation rate, unemployment change, which could affect the market, the CPY as well, another CPY, and the core PCE should make some move in the market, and we're gonna ending with the Michigan. And that's it for this week, guys. Thanks for your attention. We see each other next week. Bye bye.